Jofra Archer claimed that you panicked as a team at Leeds in that last hour. People have mentioned the word choke. Did you panic or choke during that last hour or so?
No, and I've addressed it previously. Jofra's entitled to his opinion. He's had plenty of those, that's for sure. But yeah, as I said, we made some mistakes. It happens. We've addressed it as a team. We've spoken about it honestly. I was certainly one of those people who made mistakes. Happens in cricket. We've moved on. We're here ready for another great test match.
Tim, sorry, can you just talk us through the decision to drop Usman? Obviously, it's a senior player at a critical stage in the series.
Yep.
What was the thinking there?
Just that Usman's obviously a key player in our side, batting at number 3, and he hasn't scored the runs that he or we would like. So, with Steve Smith coming back, it was a tough decision to make on Usman, but again, we think he's still got a lot of cricket left in him. He's had a very good test record over his career, and we expect that he will bounce back pretty strongly.
So presumably with Marcus, you just felt keeping him there was the right thing at opener? Yeah,
I think so. You don't want to change your order too much. Marcus came in, played one test. I think it would have been hard to then leave him out straight away. He played okay. He would have liked a few more runs as well, but we think Harry's had a decent start to his test match career, and we think he's got a lot of talent, and we think he's going to convert that into a lot of test runs.
Tim, you mentioned there you felt you've looked back at that final hour and that you made some mistakes. What would you do differently should that kind of scenario happen again?
I would do some things differently with my field placings. There was times, looking back at it, where it was really obvious I should have had the field up and allowed Ben to even hit a couple of boundaries, so we had more balls at the tail ender. But I didn't do that, and as I said, the mistake's been made. We've moved on. We've learnt from it. That would have been the main thing I would have done differently.
What are the chances of Mitchell Starc playing in the
11? Well, they're good. He's in the 12, so he's close. We'll have another look at that wicket today. It looks pretty dry. Hopefully it's got a bit of pace in it. Starkey bowled superbly last week down at Derby. He's been working really hard on getting his length right, and we were really impressed with what he did down there. He sort of held his pace back a little bit, got the ball in the right area and swung it when he needed to, and then obviously we know what he can do to tail end batters when he really cranks it up, and the boys have been calling him the mop for a few years now. That's a thing that he does really well, and obviously even when you've got a couple of set batters, you've got a big tall left armer that can bowl 150. It can shake things up a little bit, so he's a great option for us. We think this wicket might suit him, and if we make that call, then we'll sure he'll do a great job as he has over his whole career.
And just on Usman, how long has his place in the side been under threat? Going into Derby, was there the potential that he was going to be dropped for this test, or is it?
I'm not sure, mate. I'm not a selector, so I give my opinion. It was only spoken about that I've been aware of this week. As I said, Uz hasn't scored the runs that he would like and we would like from him, and it's unfortunate for him that Steve Smith missed the last test, and when a player that good's coming back, someone's got to make way. So again, it's a good thing for us that we've got a player of Usman's quality now on the sidelines. It means we're getting our team to where we want to be, and we want our selectors making hard decisions.
So, Peter?
Oh, no, I'm done. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll go Ali, Barat and Sam.
Tim, just going back to your first answer at the start of the press conference, it sounds like you're a little bit irked by Jofra Archer. Do you feel like he's been a bit disrespectful in what he's been saying?
No, not at all. No, just that, as I said, I was told a few things when we were down at Derby. I haven't actually seen the quotes, but talk is talk, and as I said, we're here to play this test match. What's happened in the past has happened, and Jofra's entitled to his opinion. As I said, it doesn't faze us one way or another.
And are you looking forward to seeing how Steve Smith responds in this test match? Obviously, he's coming back and he's going to have to face the guy that did knock him out of the last test match. So.
Well, I think everyone in the world is looking forward to watching Steve Smith bat. We always do. And again, I think Steve's missed one Test match. He hasn't been out for 12 months. He came back from a 12-month layoff pretty well, so I expect he'll handle 6 days without batting pretty well.
Tim, just the reputation of Old Trafford being good for reverse swing, does that also favour Mitchell Starc? And when you play at a ground like this, do you actually take care of the ball differently when you know there is a chance of reverse swing? Do you work on it more? Like, how does it work?
No, we just use saliva and shine it on our pants. That's the way we look after the ball, so that won't change this Test match. But yeah, certainly the dryness of the square as well can play a part in that, and obviously Starkey's a really great exponent of reverse swing if you can get it to happen. So again, if that is the case, then he'll be a dangerous proposition.
It might be obvious, but is Marnus going to bat at 3?
Yeah, I think he will. Steve will come back in and slot in his normal position, and obviously Usman's gone out of the side, so I think Marnus has played really well. He's got a really good technique. He's got a great temperament. I think he's suited quite well to number 3. So he's done it once or twice, I think, for us in tests. So I think he'll slot in there tomorrow.
And Steve Smith, the number 1 Test batsman in the world now. What's it
Yeah,
like
he's told us this morning.
What's it like for you as captain to have commanded the number 1 Test batter and number 1 Test bowler on the side? Yeah,
it's exciting. Both those guys have deserved that as well. I think Pat's been superb over the last sort of 12 months, and Steve Smith's, as we've said before, I think JL said yesterday, is the greatest problem solver in cricket. You can throw everything at him, and every team has for a number of years, and that's what I've seen that separates him, is his ability to deal with it on the spot, change whatever he has to change according to conditions or what teams are trying to do to him, and he solves that really quickly and adapts, and that's what's made him the best batsman in the world.
Okay, Rambo, Mel, Rory and Dino, and it might just do our 4 side.
Team England have named Craig Overton and dropped Chris Wokes for this Test, supposedly based on his height on this sort of pitch. Is that something you've seen him in the Ashes in Australia? Does that surprise you, or is it the sort of track that you think he might be effective on?
I'm not too sure. I know he's a very good cricketer. We've played him a little bit in the last Ashes in Australia, and he's a big, tall boy and extracts a bit of extra bounce. So he's certainly a handful when he gets it right. Fortunately, a few of us have seen him last time around, so we kind of know what to expect. I think he'll be a slightly different proposition again with a Duke's ball. But yeah, he's another really good cricketer, and both he and Wokes are a real asset for any side. You've got guys that can bowl sort of the pace they bowl, and they add a bit to your batting as well. It's he's a good weapon for them to have, and we know we're going to have to be at the best of our game to handle him.
Tim, after the last Test, you spoke about Nathan Lyon, how devastating he was, and you were looking for him to be an example. How did he go during the week?
Yeah, he's been great. Ran some drinks down at Derby, which is always good for someone who's played 90 Tests to see a little bit of the other side of the game. Also gave him a bit of time to rest. He's been playing a lot of cricket, bowls a lot of overs for us, so for him to freshen up and be able to get away from it for a few days was good for him, and he's been fantastic around our group, as he always is, and he's someone that gives our group a lot of confidence because of what he can do on the field, and guys love playing with him and love following him, so he's an important part, and he's handled it really well.
Did it take him long to kind of bounce back, or how long?
No, not at all. I think obviously the instant disappointment was there for us all to see after on the field, but again, I think you go off the ground, you sit down for 5 minutes and put it all in perspective, and realise that we're in the middle of an Ashes, and that he in particular is a huge asset for us. And I think he's ready to go. I'd say he's really driven for the last 2 Test matches. I think he's found out a bit who his friends are in the last week. So he's driven to continue to prove people wrong, like he has his whole career.
injury doubt there in the team.
Good.
Just a follow-up, really, actually, on Lyon and maybe Jack Leach also. If you look at the honours board there, you'll see 7 of the last 9 fifers here were spinners.
Yep.
Do you think sort of the spinners could have a real role to play, perhaps more than the last couple of tests?
Yeah, I think on most surfaces now, if you can get them into day 4 and 5, the spinners play a huge role. So I think as well with the big fast bowlers that both teams have got, there tends to be quite a bit of wear and tear around the footmarks. So that's another challenge of Test cricket. And we saw Leach was a real handful for us at Lords when he had some rough, and as Lino has been for them. So that's nothing new. Guys have got plans to try and cope with it. But yeah, it's about executing that under pressure out in the middle.
Tim, how do you think that you might be able to stop Ben Stokes in this match? Do you fear that you might be another Australian captain that founders on an English all-rounder?
Who, what, sorry?
I said, how do you envisage stopping Ben Stokes in this game? Do you fear that you might be another Australian captain that founders on an English all-rounder like Kim Hughes or Ricky Ponting?
No, I haven't lost a hell of a lot of sleep over thinking that about my captaincy, but I've lost a bit of sleep and thinking how we're going to get him out. That's for sure. He's a class player and he's really confident at the moment. He's going well. So, like I said, we've got some plans for him, but we've just got to execute them a little bit better. And as I said, post-Test match, I thought Nathan Lyon's actually bowled really well to him. He's created a number of chances each time he's bowled to him, if we're honest. So, we think as a fast bowling group we can tweak things a little bit to him. But the other side of it is that we hold our chances when Nathan's bowling to him, and if we can do that, then as I said, I think Gaz can open the game up for us through that middle order. But in the last 2 tests in particular, we've let Nathan down a little bit with our fielding.
And does it take a little bit of kidology as a captain to kind of keep telling yourselves that you're doing the right things because you came so close, obviously, to retaining those Ashes, even though you didn't actually get over the line?
No, because we are doing a lot of things right, and we know that. So, like I've said before, we know where we made some errors in the last Test match. But on the whole, when you look at the way we've played our cricket and the numbers and the things that we look at and mark ourselves on, we've been doing them really well, and that's why we've been in positions to win Test matches. We've just got to be better at finishing the job like we didn't do last week. But again, we've learnt from that and we'll be better for it. This is getting a bit...
Still working. There we go. Tim, how much are you looking forward to playing at Old Trafford? Also, what are you expecting from the crowd here? First 4 days all sold out, and 5th day's heading that way as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. We've said a number of times we love coming and playing cricket in England for that reason. The crowds are brilliant. The atmosphere that they create in smaller stadiums has been outstanding, and I haven't heard too much louder than what we had firstly at Edgbaston and then again last week at Headingley for smallish stadiums. I think the way the English crowd get behind their team is fantastic, and at times as an opposition player it can be difficult, but at the same time it's brilliant to be out there and experiencing it. And I think at times we've used it as a motivator as well, because you've just got to take it for what it is. It's a brilliant experience. It's not every day you play Test cricket in particular and you get this sort of atmosphere. So we're lucky to be out there and we're really enjoying it.